G'day, it's Michael Guest and I've got young Curtis Chalker with me here today as well. And on this episode of Start Your Own Battle, it's pretty obvious where we are. We're on a big ocean beach here and we're going to target some brim and whiting. So super light tackle, 5 to 9 kilo, 10'6", Prevail 2 rods, some little 4,500 size spinfisher reels, some 12-pound nylon and a little bit of 8-pound leader at the moment, down to a number 4 owner bait holder hook, and a range of baits. Are you going to go the worm, the pilchard, or the pippy? What's your favourite for brim and whiting?
Probably the worms.
The worms. The worms are pretty good. They're pretty hard to beat. I like pippies as well. And then for the brim, just to get a bit of that oil and scent in the water, we've got some pilchards as well. Curdy's a typical kid. Can't wait to get out there and put a cast in. That's what I love about fishing. Taking kids, seeing them enjoy their time outside. Let's have a quick look at the rig. So that's our 12-pound main line. And then I've got one of these little star sinkers. These type of sinkers come in different shapes and sizes, but the idea is that they grip the sand. There's a little bit of a rip running along the beach there, and we want our bait to sort of sit there in one spot and just have that worm or bit of pilchard or pippy just wafting away, tempting a brim or a whiting underneath the bubbles there. So look, small swivel and then a length, and I've chosen 8-pound at the moment, down to that number 4 bait holder hook. Depends on what you're fishing for. You know, you could go even lighter if it was really calm and clear, down to 6-pound, but 8's a good place. If you get a flathead, you'll land the flathead there. A big brim, no problems, and it's still light enough to tempt the whiting. They've got fantastic eyesight and they can be a bit fussy. So let's have just a quick look here. So if I'm going to use a pilchard, got my knife there, I'd probably just go slice one down through there like so, and then sneak it onto that hook by going through the eye, back out the other side, and then in through there like so. So that's a nice straight bait, or we could use the tail section if we wanted to. So that's going to be a good oily bait, especially for the brim, to get them excited and charging around. And we've got these beach worms that have been cured in methylated spirits. So they're awesome, and we've also got a few live ones that we caught earlier. So look at those fellas there. So they're just in a little bucket of water, or you can keep them in some damp sand. So just great baits. And if you're catching a live beach worm here, obviously that's a very good spot to be fishing, and we'll look at the structure of the beach and where you should cast in a minute. Pop that back in there. And then the pippies, they're just a matter of, oh, he's squirting a bit of water out that one, of cracking that open. I'll actually do that right now with a pair of pliers. Just crack that open like so, and throw that shell into the water because it's good burley as well. And there's that meaty section in the middle, right there. If you get your thumbnail, you can dig that harder section out. And that, I've got to tell you, that's an unbelievably good bit of bait right there. So we've got pilchard. You could use squid. There's a variety of baits, and as we know, brim especially will eat all sorts of baits. Whiting can be a bit fussy, and I reckon the pippies and the worms are the best for them. Oh, there's a bite. Yes, that's what we've got here. Wow, I love my beach fishing. It's just a beautiful part of the world to be in, and I've got, oh, awesome. Beautiful brim. What a way to kick that off. Look at that. Fantastic surf brim. That's all we came for. Brim and whiting. Well, there's a cracking looking brim. The great thing about fish that you catch in the surf, have a look at that. You won't find, spiky little character, won't find a more splendid example of a brim than that. The colours are just magnificent. Those beautiful yellow fins, I've got that one tucked up underneath there, and those silver sides, they're so clean, the fish that you catch in the beach. Absolutely magnificent. That one, I started with a pippy, didn't get a bite there, had a bit of a move down the beach, and I've gone to one of those methode worms. I'll show you how to put those on in a minute, as long as your bait's nice and straight, and there'll be brim cutting around in that wash, sort of where that reform zone is, where the bubbles are. That's a really good place. So don't drive down the beach and go, that's a nice calm spot, I'm going to fish there. You need to think about the fact that fish like brim, if you're chasing mulloway, tailor, those sort of fish all like a little bit of protection from the bright sunshine. So where that wave breaks, it reforms and you get those bubbles over those gutters, they're really good places to fish. The tide's falling at the moment, so it's a few hours to go to a low tide, which Hey, that's a good thing. My four-wheel drive's parked up on the sand there, and I know the tide's actually falling. If it was coming in, you'd want to be really careful that there's not salt water washing up towards your gear there. And Curdy's walking down this bit of a strip. It's a bit of an estuary system runs out here, so this is a great place for bream and whiting. You've got what's getting churned up by the ocean, by the surf, and then also that run-out tide, you've got all sorts of food and debris that's running out through there, which bream larvae and also the whiting will get stuck into. So that's a good area. And as that tide drops, we can walk down this spit further and concentrate casting in that bit of a channel that's running back out into the surf zone. What's going on, mate?
What's going on?
Let's go down and have a look. It's pretty exciting. Something's going down anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, it's right in the waves. So when you get a fish in the waves there, you just got to be careful not, as that wave sucks back, you don't want to pull back really hard, especially on light line, because you could really easily lose the fish. How you going, bud? Curtis, what have you done? Woo! Mate, that is not a bream and that is not a whiting. How good is beach fishing? So, going through the tackle again, we're talking 8-pound leader here. So 8-pound leader, some 12-pound mono, that tiny little hook, which is in there somewhere, and there's that worm, that single, oh, he actually went a slightly bigger bait, and there's that tiny little hook pinned in there, and that's a beautiful mulloway. Look at that, up around that metre mark in the middle of the day. So you get it right, have a look behind us, lots of foam there, anything can happen beach fishing. So, yeah. Mate, it's either the biggest whiting I've ever seen or a beautiful mulloway, one or the other. That's awesome. They're a fantastic predator, generally one that we get late in the afternoon into the night. But to see one like that this time of day, that is just incredible. I think you've skunked me. I've got to tell you, start your own battle. The battle is fired right up, right here. I think my bream might definitely come second. I think Curtis has won the day with that. That is beautiful. I'm pretty sure that's your first ever mulloway off the beach.
Yeah, sure is.
I'd give you a high five, but you got your hands full. All right, mate, let's let it go.